welcome back to NTV News First Edition. Do you ever wish you'd been able to record some of your Nan's stories? Or are you a loved one struggling with memory concerns? Well, a prompted or guided journal might be something to consider in both those cases. Here to discuss is Dr. Janine Hubbard for this week's Get Psyched. Thank you so much for joining us, Dr. Hubbard.
Oh, thank you as always. This is fun.
It is so much fun. And first of all, I mean, we know journaling or keeping a diary as a way to keep track of day-to-day emotions or activities. So what value does a guided or prompted journal bring?
Well, this was something that actually came up in conversation with some colleagues recently as something that they were looking at for their parents. And I hadn't really thought of it as an idea. So some of it is based in work with seniors or individuals with Alzheimer's. So it's the idea that perhaps every day you get some guided questions of what made you smile today? What did you have for breakfast this morning? You know, sort of guided to assist with day-to-day memory skills. But then it has really expanded into a way of collecting memories and being able to partly to help keep those memory skills really sharp, but as a way to kind of collect some of those. So there's a whole bunch of them out there, and we can certainly talk about, you know, some of the different versions. But the idea is on whatever interval you want, your loved one receives a prompt. It could be something like, who was your first crush? What was your first job? Looking at this picture, who are the people in it? What was happening? And then the individual is given the chance to either record an answer or type out an answer. Again, the idea behind it is helping to keep your memories sharp, helping so we don't want it to be really maudlin and think, oh no, I'm recording things because I won't be here. No, like it really is. And you know what? I was asked this morning a kind of a favorite summer memory or summer camp memory. Well, I did the first one that came to the top of my head, and then for the next half hour I was flooded with a whole bunch of other really wonderful memories that, you know what, if I hadn't been asked that particular question, wouldn't necessarily have occurred to me. And I thought, those are really special. That's actually something that made my day. It made me feel good.
Yes, interesting, kind of just tapping into it and then kind of, getting a big flood. That's very interesting. And you mentioned older people or people with dementia, but who else may find this helpful?
Well, and this is where it gets really interesting. So it can be as fancy or not fancy as you want. There are commercially available programs, there are workbooks, or quite frankly, you can, for free, find all kinds of things online or with ChatGPT with some prompts. The example that my friend gave, which I thought was beautiful, was there's a regular prompt that goes to your loved one, and then I think it's weekly, and then at the end of a year, all of those recollections are put together with some photos into a memory book. So into here are some things about me. And I think, well, we do this with kids all the time. Wouldn't that actually be a really nice thing for family to do? Or I always laugh because we get you get all the sisters lined up and they all have very different memories of childhood episodes. Wouldn't it be great for all of them to do that independently, and then we can sit down and compare? I think this would be a great resource for any of us. I'd love the childhood version to kind of fast forward to when kids are graduating or wedding days, or being able to pull out some of those information, or even just doing it on an annual basis. I mean, what a great way to try to preserve and capture, and like I say, capture some of the sad memories as well. We don't want it to all be happy, but to be able to really fully be able to explore some of our own memories and those of some of our loved ones, because we also, unfortunately, we never know when we might lose someone. And at least having something like a recording or some written documentation is something that's really valuable.
Well, thank you so very much, Dr. Hubbard. It's something that keepsake and can help our memory. So thank you so much, and we'll see you next week for Get Psyched.
Thanks so much.